Hey wrestling fans, this is Rick from rickswrestlingblog.com. Hey, I want to talk today about the latest Raw right here in Chicago, my hometown, and the setup for WrestleMania 30. Because we have some problems here. Hey, raise your hand if this WrestleMania is looking a little weak. Yeah, compared to the last so many years, really, it is looking weak right now. Right now we know about 4 matches that are official, okay? Randy Orton to defend his title against Batista. Now, WWE did something really nice here, though. They took Batista and they turned him heel, which was a big surprise to me because, you know, in the past, if you have a wrestler that has a movie coming out soon, they don't turn him heel. They keep him as a good guy, as a face. But it turns out that they decided to go the heel route, which is good. It seems to, now Batista seems to be fitting in a little better. His wrestling skills haven't improved. I haven't been impressed at all. But I tell you what, him being a heel and just starting to kind of snap on people, it's been pretty good. I'm enjoying this right now. So, and at the same time, still Batista Orton as a match at WrestleMania, not an interesting one, especially when it's for the world title. Now, if it was just a one-on-one without a title on the line, okay, I can take that. But before the title, and then not having Daniel Bryan part of that, well, you know, hey. You've also got Daniel Bryan now, of course, challenging Triple H, and I've said this before, they're making it Daniel Bryan's idea because the fans will probably rebel if it was that they put Daniel Bryan against Triple H, you know, or Triple H challenged Daniel Bryan, because us fans want him to be the world champion, not to go against Triple H. I honestly would prefer him to go for the title. To tell you the truth, I prefer that he was already the champion going into WrestleMania, and that he would defend it. He could defend the title against both Randy Orton and Batista, and that would be a pretty fun match to watch. All right, but obviously it's not going to be that way. So Daniel Bryan, Triple H, Undertaker and Lesnar, good matchup. Probably your main event for the pay-per-view, and a match that has been long awaited to see. Now, don't get me wrong, they've fought in the past, okay, so years ago, but I don't know if that was WrestleMania, probably not, but we'll see. At the same time, do you really expect Brock Lesnar to break the streak? Listen, if Triple H didn't break the streak, oh, and that was 2 years in a row that he fought him. If Shawn Michaels didn't break the streak, if CM Punk didn't break the streak, and, you know, of course, how many other ones that tried to break the streak, and they still didn't break the streak, why would Brock Lesnar, who's not even a full-time player in WWE, why would they give him that right to break the streak? No, I don't expect it. Don't expect it to happen at all. So we'll have to see what they're going to do with it, but I just expect it to be a fun match, great match to watch. But that's it. I believe the streak will continue on. John Cena and Bray Wyatt. This one does nothing for John Cena, but it does everything for Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt honestly hasn't had enough time there to be the top guy. I mean, Daniel Bryan just became the top guy just last summer. Finally, top guy in WWE. And ongoing, of course, but Bray Wyatt, he's been up for a few months, and he's already going up against John Cena. That's main event status. Daniel Bryan, it took him, I don't know how many years has he been wrestling now with the WWE, and prior to that. So, you know, it's not a match that excites me, because I don't expect Cena to lose this match. Then again, if they want to keep pushing Bray Wyatt as a top-level performer, I mean, they did have him beat Daniel Bryan. That was a pretty big match. That was a pretty big win. And it was a great match at the Royal Rumble. That was a great match between Bryan and Wyatt. So, and if you haven't seen that, wow, great match. Anyway, those are your 4 main matches. I got to tell you, Monday Night Raw, I was really disappointed. I could not be at Monday Night Raw live, but I did have family there. And I watched it on television, and they were telling me how loud the crowd was chanting for CM Punk. Really disappointed he didn't show up. I really thought he would. I thought that they would probably throw him into the main event to make it a triple threat, and I thought that right there would just save, to me that would just save WrestleMania right there, but it didn't happen. He never showed, which wasn't cool, just wasn't cool. So anyway, he didn't show up. I don't expect him to be there for WrestleMania at all, but we'll see what happens. You know, crazy things have happened. This pay-per-view is looking awfully weak. So let's take a look at some of the matches that looks like the WWE is toying around with that they want to put into WrestleMania. And I would be kind of disappointed to see some of these. So for example, Sheamus versus Christian. I mean, come on. Christian isn't at the level of Sheamus. Sheamus is right up there with John Cena, with Daniel Bryan, with CM Punk. He's up there. He's no, since he's come back, he hasn't necessarily wrestled those very top guys just yet again. But you know, he was world champion, but to try to force, because that's how I look at it. This is a forced match, forcing this Christian and Sheamus, because we don't want to see Christian. We don't want to. He's boring. I mean, honestly, he's not a challenge for Sheamus. So that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But it looks like WWE's pushing that way, because why? Why not? I mean, who else am I gonna have fight Sheamus? Well, let's talk about that. I've got a few matches in mind that I think would work out really nice. So anyway, Shield. The latest rumors are that the Shield would be in a triple threat against each other. Again, not something I like. Not something I'm interested in. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be a great match, especially with Seth Rollins, because that guy can wrestle, you know, and Dean Ambrose, that guy's always kind of crazy. And then you've got Roman Reigns, who's been pretty exciting with that Superman punch and the spear and all that stuff, and some of these things he's been doing. So don't get me wrong, I think it would actually be a fun match, a great match, actually probably the match of the night, this triple threat. But my thing is, I don't even like their split up, to tell the truth. I think Rollins and Reigns, both of them especially, should be face, but I think Ambrose needs to stay heel. So hey, we'll see. Plus, what? Nothing's happening with his U.S. title? Still? All right. Another match that they may possibly be bringing up for WrestleMania. AJ Lee defending her title against Naomi, because Naomi was injured and couldn't go for the title at Elimination Chamber. So why not? Why not put her at WrestleMania? Well, because we don't want to see her. Come on. Honestly, the Divas matches have not been exciting anyway. The better thing is having AJ in there, but to have Naomi again? Come on. How about throw Tamina in there? AJ versus Tamina. You know what? Emma's up there now, but I know it's too soon. I know it's too soon to put her for a title match, but I think it'd be fun to watch AJ, Emma. How about you throw in Summer Rae? Summer Rae's actually a pretty good wrestler. They haven't been showing that in WWE, but at NXT, she's actually been pretty good. So, hey, no matter. They're also toying around with, of course, the breakup of the Real Americans, Cesaro and Swagger. But here's the thing. Love Cesaro. He's been doing great. But I don't like the matchup, him versus Swagger. I don't think that'll be a good match for WrestleMania. I mean, Cesaro, I expect him to win. To tell you the truth, if WWE wants to do anything with Swagger, they would let Swagger beat Cesaro, because Cesaro right now is on a high. If he takes a loss, it's not going to hurt him. But Swagger doesn't win. He doesn't win a match. I mean, yeah, he won this fatal four-way match so that he became the Intercontinental, the number one contender for the Intercontinental title. But then he lost at the pay-per-view. But honestly, was that deserving? Swagger hadn't won a match in quite a while. He wins one match and he's the number one contender? I hate when the WWE does stuff like that. I don't know what their creative minds are thinking. And obviously they're not. But there's other people you could put Cesaro against. Anyway, hey, put Cesaro against Sheamus. That'll be a much better match. We'll talk about those in a little bit. Okay, hang on. Usos, who are your new tag team champions. Good. Let's get rid of the Outlaws. They don't need to be there anymore, okay? But the Usos, If you have the Usos take on the Brotherhood, that would be a fun match. And actually, that might even be the match of the night because these guys can all wrestle. Put on a show, they're high-flying, they're just with these acrobats, and I think that would be a fun match to watch. At the end of the day, I would expect the Usos to win because obviously they're the new champions. But this would be a great tag team, and I would love to see them at the pay-per-view. All right, here's some of my suggestions, okay? So let's talk about these. I honestly have been loving the Shield and the Wyatts beating on each other. These guys have been putting on a good show. I mean, come on, the fans are chanting, "This is awesome," before they even hit the ring. You know it's good. They're chanting, "This is awesome," just because these guys are giving each other a stare down. They haven't even locked up yet. That's some good stuff. I say you have the Shield stick together and let them face the entire Wyatt family. Forget the Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Forget the Shield breaking up and fighting each other. Come on. I want to write for WWE. Anyway, Intercontinental Championship. Have they mentioned anything about this title that is all of a sudden gone stagnant for a little while? He didn't defend it at Royal Rumble. He defended it at the Elimination Chamber by the guy who won one match and became #1 contender. So, hey, you know, I don't like what they're doing with the Intercontinental Championship, which is pretty much nothing. But anyway, I want to see Biggie Langston defend that title, and I want to see him defend it against Mark Henry. I think that would be cool because that would be like a student versus the teacher type of matchup. And I think that would be fun to watch. And, of course, this would be more of a passing of the torch type of match. So I would expect Mark Henry to lose and Big E to look, you know, I mean, this is just boosts him up even higher. WWE's been behind this guy. He's been doing really good. All right, another one. Hey, we know we've got Orton versus Batista, okay? Man, I really wanted to see CM Punk show up on Raw, and I thought that they could have a three-way with CM Punk in there. And CM Punk winning the title, by the way. But if that's not going to happen, I want to see Daniel Bryan in there. Daniel Bryan doesn't need to be fighting Triple H. Why? I mean, come on. Is this a way of Triple H just getting into WrestleMania? I mean, he doesn't need to be there. He's going to be there physically anyway. Now, I think Daniel Bryan needs to be in the world title hunt, and he needs to be in the main event. Maybe they can do a thing where just to convince Triple H to fight him, they will say, "I'll tell you what, if you fight me at WrestleMania," this is Bryan talking, okay? "If you fight me at WrestleMania and you beat me, I will never, ever challenge for the world title again. But if I beat you, I will go into the main event at WrestleMania and we will make it a three-way match." And I think that would be exciting to do. I think that would be pretty cool. Daniel Bryan would be really beat up though, so I don't know if they would actually... hey, it's WrestleMania, and I think this is the way you have to do it. Just do it. Wrestle twice, win twice, walk away with the world title. Bret Hart wrestled twice, lost to Owen Hart, but then he went for the world title and won the world championship, and that's how you do it. That was a great night for Bret Hart. Anyway, I would say Undertaker instead of Lesnar, because that's predictable. How about John Cena? Yeah, John Cena. You know why? Because that's not predictable. Let's put it this way. The WWE can go both ways. John Cena's been the top guy for the last 12 years. Okay? He makes the most money. He sells the most merchandise. People, whether you cheer him, whether you boo him, this guy really is the top dog in WWE. He really is. Okay? Now, put him against The Undertaker. Listen, The Undertaker can't keep wrestling. He's getting old. Alright? But John Cena still probably has maybe a good 10 years still left in him. This to me would be the passing of the torch match. The passing of the torch. John Cena breaking the streak. John Cena beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I think that would be a phenomenal match. I'm telling you, that's a good match to have. Alright. Lesnar. Since we would need to find a spot for Lesnar, okay? But you know what? You got Sheamus. Forget Christian. Put Lesnar against Sheamus. I don't think that Sheamus would actually beat Lesnar, but the WWE is high on Sheamus. And this guy, you know, he's been world champion. He's pretty much beaten almost everybody. This would be a great match because it would be power, power, power. I think that Sheamus would do good fighting Lesnar. And I think it would be awesome if Sheamus beat him. I wouldn't expect that. I would expect Lesnar to win. So, but I think that would be a great match. AJ versus I know this one's a stretch. I would like to actually see AJ defend her title against the NXT Women's Champion Paige. I know it'll probably not happen until she gets promoted to the WWE main roster. I still think this would be an awesome, awesome match. So, these girls are both like the same size. You know, I just think they could probably make it pretty acrobatic and just be a fun match. All right. That's about it. But, you know, take a look at some of the guys that are not even in WrestleMania. You know, there's no talk about Ziggler, Del Rio, Fandango. Who else? I think I wrote a few names. Oh, Barrett. I wrote down Barrett. Sandow. Feel sorry for a lot of these guys because they're just doing nothing with them. Titus O'Neil, Darren Young. You know, the former, well, there's Xavier Woods, and then there's R-Truth, and, you know, the former Tons of Funk guys. And I tell you what, there's a lot of, you know, people. I mean, what about the Big Show? Is he not going to be part of WrestleMania? The Miz? Rey Mysterio? You know, there's so many. Luckily, there's still a lot of openings here, but it's looking kind of sad right now. I don't like it. So I'll tell you what, you know, and coming up, one of the next things I'll be doing is a video on my updated matches for my WrestleMania predictions. I had one actually, and I wanted to show it to you here, but not gonna have time because I'm running out of battery. So anyway, gotta get rid of that. So anyway, on my webpage, I actually had a blog listed, and I had to do with WrestleMania 30, and I wrote this one well over a month ago. Let's see, my storylines, WWE. Well, it's around here somewhere because I've got so many already. But I tell you what, it's something where I talked about WrestleMania 30 and the matches that I wanted to predict for it. But I had some pretty good matches in there. And it's really going to be kind of interesting for me to see how they changed. Not that WWE was going with them, but I was just saying that they had so many other things that going on that they just went different routes for certain things. So I think I might have had one or two. But that's pretty much it. WWE WrestleMania 30 best pay-per-view ever. Best tag team, TLC recap. Okay. So, yeah, best pay-per-view ever. Yeah, so in here I list all these matches that, you know, what it could be. Man, but they don't match anything of what's going on right now in the WWE. So, hey, but if you want to read it, it's on my website, WWE Latest, and it's called WWE Presents WrestleMania 30, possibly the best pay-per-view ever. And that, of course, that was over a month ago that I wrote that thing. Let's see, when did I post that? January 12th I posted it. So now I look back and I look at this and I say, wow, now it's actually looking at